Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to be taking you through the step-by-step process of how to do angles on trickline clips. This can also be used on other clips such as hippie flips and more. But anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. But before we get into it, I do have to mention that since I'm part of Rise Skating, we are now sponsored by Scuff. And Scuff have been kind enough to give everyone in Rise a discount code, which you can now all use. So be sure to head to the link in the description and use code RISE at checkout. But anyways, let's get straight to it. First I have to show you this clip, which we'll be editing today. So here we are with the clip you just saw, but we're going to do some really nice angles on this. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do them. First place to start, you'll be in orbit cam, just like this. What you're going to do is you're going to press edit, and you're going to go to free. This is where you can adjust your field of view, roll, and more. But we're going to get into these in a second. But for now, I'm going to get you guys to set this to 90. This is always what I start at, and I think it's probably the best way of doing it. So we'll start off like that. Now what I like to do, especially for trickline clips, is to start off low. It gives a nice start to every clip, and I think it just works well. So right now I'm going to position it so I have like the sun on one side of the screen and skater on the other, kind of split it with the keyframes. So you'll see right in between, kind of like that, move it a bit back, kind of like this. There we go. Now you're going to go a bit forward in the clip to where your skater gets on the board. So let me move this to right about here. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm keeping the sun right where that preview enabled thing is. I kind of want to keep these frames a bit slower. It helps for editing and more things, but we'll get into that after. Just to interject here, I did not go over editing in this video, but I may have said that by mistake, or I may have been alluding to my next video. Who knows? We'll see. So we're going to add another keyframe here. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through the whole clip just like this and do the exact same thing. So wherever you see a key point, so like right here, I'm going to position it with the skater in frame because we want the trick fully. So like this. Boom. Now we're going to get the landing and the start of the next trick. So right here, like this. Perfect. So now we're going to have a nice movement like this. You see? Just like that. Now you're going to go the same amount of frames forward, just like this, and you're going to go to the next bit. What I like to do, especially with angles, have a slow rotation with your angles. It gives a bit more movement to the clip instead of staying in one position for the whole time. So as you can see right here, I am doing a pop glitch right here. That's okay because hopefully, yep, it'll still keep that. So it's not as if it's going to snap straight to where you need it to be. So it's going to be something like this. What I might do is actually move this a bit below the skater to kind of get like a bit more of a perspective on it, if you get what I'm saying. So let's play this through, see how it looks. Just like that. Now that looks nice so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to position it over here. So we're catching the foot plan right about here. Also, don't be afraid to readjust, as it's often sometimes better if you take one or two perspectives of it. So right here, I'm probably going to adjust this. So I don't want it to be there. I want it to be more around here. Even a slight movement can make a lot of difference. Like that, there we go. And that sets up nicely for the next rotation. So you'll see, sets us up nicely. Go right around here. What you're going to do is you can actually get a bit of perspective on this. So we're looking up at the skater. It's really nice to have this. It can make a clip look really, really nice. So let's see how this looks. That looks quite nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we're going to move a similar distance, keyframes between, to get the landing. Now sometimes it's kind of nice to experiment and kind of go a bit closer and see how things look. Like this could look really cool, especially with that little lens flare over my skater. That can look really nice. Let's see if it worked. That looks really nice. I love that. Okay, so we're going to go similar distance again, and we're going to capture it from behind now, like this. I kind of want a bit of that sun peeking out, kind of like that. So now if we turn that off, that looks really nice. That looks like a thumbnail image right there. The key point here is to obviously space out your keyframes. If you have them too close together, it's going to look really janky. We don't want that. I'm going to place this right here. I'm going to go with the skater, moving with to right about here. So we can get that trick. Boom. Then we've got some power slides. There's some really cool stuff you can do here. So we'll put it about here or so. So look at that movement. That looks crazy. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to keep rotating really nice and slowly while maintaining a nice distance from the skater so you can see all of them in frame. It's perfect. Because in every frame, I always have my skater kind of positioned almost in the center, apart from the start and the end frames. This is looking great so far. Really, really nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go follow the skater into the air, somewhere like here. This looks kind of nice. Let's see. Let's get a bit of perspective on this. So if we could move it down, kind of like that. Move a similar way, like here. Boom. So let's see. Okay, we might need to move these down. So just delete it and move it down. Boom. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to capture the skater in motion, kind of like this. And something like that, and then for the final landing, go right around here. That looks super nice. Boom. Perfect. We don't want the motion to end just there. We want it to keep going all the way through the clip. So even if you move it slightly and follow, just like this, perfect. Now that looks perfect. Let's do a little playback of that. Now that really does look perfect, but that's not the end of this tutorial. See, with angles, you also want a bit more movement. What Skate has done really intelligently is they've added the roll mechanic. Now what you can do with this is really, really awesome. So for the start of this clip right here, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the roll slider and we're going to put it to -15. Now that looks incredible, right? That looks amazing. But what this does is it's now going to give the clip that we've just done angles on a lot more movement. Now, what I would suggest is you gradually do this for every single keyframe until they're like that. So now if we play that back, it's going to look like this. See, that subtle movement makes a whole lot of difference. Now, this is a stylistic choice. You can do this for the whole thing if you want to. I prefer not to. But throughout the clip, I'll try my best to put in as many little rolls as possible, just to give this clip a lot more movement. So let me do that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like for the final product. Now that looked great, right? But there is one more thing which could change this clip from a great one into the best one. Now what we can do is we can actually adjust the field of view on some of these frames. So for this one, for example, what I'll do is I'll go into the field of view and I'll give it a little zoom in. Now doing this with some of your frames can look really great, but obviously don't switch it up on all of them. You do want a bit of variation with how zoomed in the camera is. For any far away, I kind of like to zoom it in a little bit more, to around 70, just to give it that little bit of edge. But that's pretty much it, guys. So those are very simple angles. These aren't my best, but they give you a great idea of how to start. And giving a bit of roll and zoom is not a bad thing. So have fun. Obviously, take the advice of keeping the keyframe spaced out. It's gonna help a lot. But overall, just have a great time. This new update is great. I'm loving it, and I hope you all do too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.